When you have to explain why something hurt you more than once, that's not a communication problem. That's a respect problem. The first time you explain, it's connection. The second time, it's patience. The third time, your nervous system starts taking notes. Psychology calls this repeated emotional dismissal. Over time, it quietly rewires how your brain experiences the relationship. The amygdala begins marking your partner as emotionally unsafe, not because of one argument, but because of a pattern. You're not asking them to be perfect. You're asking them to remember, to care enough to hold your pain with intention. If this sentence hit a nerve like this, but when someone keeps forgetting what hurts you, your brain stops seeing it as forgetfulness. It starts seeing it as a choice. And slowly, something changes. You stop bringing things up, not because you're okay, but because your body learned that being vulnerable here has a price. Couples don't break from one big fight. They break when one person stops feeling safe enough to speak. And the quietest grief? It happens while everything still looks fine on the outside. Follow if this put words to something you've been carrying.
Be like, you did not deserve to get hurt like that. I would never hurt you like that. You deserve to be hurt like this.
Great till they gotta be great. Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friend set me down in the salon chair. Shampoo press, get you out of my hair. Fresh photos with the bomb lighting. New man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey ladies, welcome back. It is Nava. If you're new here, welcome. Let's get into talking about who hurt you. You are here because you saw the title of this video, and we're going to talk about who hurt you and who asked this question the most. As women, you probably already know that when you're talking about whatever you're talking about online or your problems, people, men and women, often ask women, who hurt you? And the answer is quite obvious. You know, people know who hurt women globally. They just want to be assholes and they want to torture women globally about who hurt them. So, y'all, this is May the 30th in 2026. So today we're going to talk about who hurt women globally. We're going to make a little diary about who hurt women, and let's talk about it. Let's get into who hurt women. So in 2027, 2028 and beyond, we don't have to ask this dumbass question because we'll know the answer. Who hurt women? Why are women acting the way that they are acting in 2026 towards relationships and towards men and towards not wanting to have children? We're going to discuss it a little further. So let's get into it.
I know when I come down here and be like saying the things and y'all be like, oh my God, she's so this, she's so that. Oh my God, who hurt her? If you really want to know, girl, if you really wanted to know, if that wasn't just like a cop out, you know, the way that men are socialized, they hurt a lot of women. And that's why people ask you, who hurt you? You know who hurt her. You know a man hurt her. You know a man hurt her. You know a man hurt her. You do. And a lot of y'all be sitting up in interviews on television shows asking women who hurt them while you sit next to a man who's hurt another woman. It really bugs me when women ask each other, who hurt you? Like, girl, you using these motherfuckers old ass fucking phrases, them old ass phrases, you using them against another woman? You really asking another woman who hurt her? Shut up. Shut up, pick me. The man who loves me will make sure that I am secure for the rest of my life. Very that, but very much probably will never happen.
Why are so many women today unmarriable? That's the word, unmarriable. First of all, I reject that question. I think the tone of the question is actually loathsome, but let me entertain it anyway. It's a sexist question. It's basically saying the problem is with women. I'll answer it, but I want to flip it a little bit and just share this purely anecdotal experience. exists. Every couple that I've ever counseled that's come to me with marital issues, where one would say that the woman has issues with accountability or with commitment or the responsibilities of a relationship, all of these issues that women often have when they have a problem being married. Every single time, if you will scratch the surface, you will find out that these women are deeply traumatized, meaning that it comes from something that happened to them. And 99% of the time, it was abuse at the hands of a man. So if you want to play the sexism game and say what's wrong with so many women, I'll tell you it's what was done to them by men. Now, I'm not here to blame women. I'm not here to blame men. I'm just saying that if you want to really be compassionate and look for a solution to this issue of what's so broken about marriage and why so many women seem to be broken in terms of being inequipped for an intimate relationship, a lot of it has to do with abuse that was done to them by men. So if we want to really look for a fix, let's look to addressing the root cause and not bemoaning the symptom.
We don't just hurt people, sometimes we permanently change the relationship. You know, when you hurt someone deeply, an apology and remorse may not be enough. And here's why. It changes what they know that you are capable of. And once that line has been crossed, you know, their system doesn't forget. They can accept your apology, they can even forgive you, but that doesn't mean that they will ever experience you the same way again. So sometimes the damage is so great that they never fully let their guard down again, and no amount of restoration can change that. That does not mean that apologies don't work. It doesn't mean that forgiveness hasn't happened. It's just the reality that when you hurt someone deeply enough, they can lose trust forever.
What hurt her is she accepted you for who you were, which included lowering her standards, tolerating more than she should have, and standing by you even at the expense of her happiness. Because what became important to her was finding a way to make you guys work, as she tried to convince herself and everyone else that you were worth it, only for you to prove her wrong and everyone else right.
Always be more disgusted with a woman's response to her trauma with men and the reality of men than he will be with the actions of men. Because, like, why do men always say, oh, who hurt you? Who hurt you? You know it was a man. Like, you know it was a man. And why does that make her look bad instead of men? Like, I'm constantly asked in my comments by men, like, who hurt you? None of them made that big of an impact on me. I'm extremely privileged to be able to say that. But, you know, it's also like, why does it have to be strictly personal? Like, why does it have to be who hurt you? Like, who hurt me? Like, why can't I be angry for all of the women who are hurt by men every single day? Like, if I post something about a friend of mine, a man will be like, why do you care so much about your friend's date? And it's like, have you not heard of the concept of friendship? Caring about others? Like, who hurt you? Bro, look at all the men hurting women instead of who hurt you. Like, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Do something. Care. Give a tiny little shit. But they won't, because these men, they don't actually care about how women think and feel. They only care how women make them feel and what women think about them. So if you don't think and feel good, positive things about him, he hates you. And if you do think good, positive things about him, he'll still hate you. He'll just treat you better.
Ladies, a man knows when he's hurting you. Don't think that man is senseless enough. Don't think that man is clueless enough. Don't think that man does not know what he's doing. That man knows he's hurting you. A man knows when he's hurting you. He knows when he's toying with your feelings. He knows when he's trying to upset you. He knows when he's trying to get under your skin. He knows when he's trying to irritate you and get a reaction out of you. A man knows when he's hurting you. If he doesn't try to do anything about it, that means that man doesn't love you and value you enough. But don't think for a second he doesn't know he's hurting you. He just likes doing it because you don't mean enough to him. You're not everything for him, right? So he doesn't mind keep hurting you and hurting you and hurting you. You understand what I try to say? But don't get it twisted. He knows what he's doing. Remember me tell you that. Like and share and give me a follow.
He knew that what he was doing would hurt you. Okay? That his actions affect you and your feelings. Okay? And he chose to do it anyway. he still chose to do the thing, knowing that it would hurt you. Okay, do you hear me? He is a grown man, and he is in charge of his actions. He is in control of his actions. Okay, and he knew that thing, whether he lied to you, whether he cheated, whether he manipulated you, he knew what he was doing that entire time. He knew. Do you not know? Every time that you're in a situation that could potentially hurt his feelings or upset him, you choose not to do that thing, don't you? Yep. Because we are grown adults who know that our actions affect other people. That is your partner. That is your boyfriend. He knew that what he was doing would hurt you, and he chose to do it anyway.
You just need to bring back the times where you can just hit your wife, and if she calls the police will come to your door, and they be like, yo, why'd you hit your wife? This was getting out of line. Yeah, we're sorry for interrupting you. Go put that in her place.
There were hundreds of men agreeing with that man in the comments. Young men, old men, white men, black men, Asian men, all sorts of men, meaning that regardless of their makeup and economic status, a lot of men will always want dominion over women. This is the system that they're fighting for. This is what they want to take us back to, traditional family values where you could beat your wife, and the system, the status quo, is not only going to look away, but it's going to applaud it. This is what male-centered and conservative women are fighting for. This is what we have to fight against. And I know there's a lot of men out there who will absolutely fight with us, so I'm not saying all men, but there's a lot of men out there who will do everything in their power to continue to have dominion and power over women. And we cannot allow that. That's why they're lashing out. That's why they'll do everything in their power to keep us down, because they cannot fathom that the world will no longer revolve around them.
For the motherfuckers that don't understand why women have been literally saying it's all men, the man versus bear argument, and you guys still somehow aren't grabbing the motherfucking main message, it's like, motherfucker, us as a group, as a whole, need to start holding other men accountable for their fucking actions instead of enabling this shit and then fucking demonizing the victims. That's what they're fucking saying, you dumb fucking pieces of shit. They're saying that the system that they're currently in literally favors the abusers. They feel safer with a fucking bear than they do a man. A bit of active fucking research and wonder why an entire half of the fucking population felt that way. You dense, dumb, delusional, cock-gobbling pieces of dog shit. So instead of sitting there circle jerking each other all the fucking time in these stupid ass podcasts, maybe you could work on yourself, get a journal, or a fucking therapist. Some of y'all claim to be alphas and want to be the protectors and all this other shit, then actually start protecting women and children, nigga. Instead of trying to assert your dominance in every fucking space that you occupy, you inconsiderate, ignorant assholes. They literally are spoon feeding you what the fuck they're asking for, and you ignore it, and you have the audacity to claim that men aren't the problem. You're denying the solution. You're actively still the fucking problem. Start listening to fucking women. On the Epstein thing, this could all be over if we started listening to fucking women.
The shoe doesn't fit, don't fucking wear it. Women don't say they feel safer with a bear because they hate men. You say that because when we do speak up about harassment, we're asked too many fucking questions like, well, what were you wearing? What did you expect? You're beautiful. Why didn't you just leave? Why were you there? Why didn't you scream? And to add to that, if I even have to fix my mouth to tell you that you shouldn't be following half-naked bitches, bro, we got a problem. If I have to tell you to help with chores around the house, take the trash out, remember to lock the front door when you're coming and going, if I have to tell you to remember where we parked when we go somewhere and you don't just take these things on as a man, while none of these isolated situations are a big deal on their own, but when it starts to accumulate over a period of time during the relationship, a woman starts to emotionally check out because she doesn't feel emotionally safe. And shouts out to all the men that always speak up on women's behalf, like the man in this video. Thank you. We would definitely take you over the bear. And for the rest of y'all, no thank you. Next.
Careful with her and a good woman. See, it's a lot of little girls out here, but it ain't a lot of good women out here. You feel me? It's a lot of females out here who willing to probably give you some cooch. You know what I'm saying? But she ain't gonna hold you down like a real woman. See, a real woman, bro, push you to be great. You know what I'm saying? She gonna try to help you get to the next level. She ain't gonna pull you down. She gonna try to help you save money. You know what I'm saying? Help you, guide you. You know what I'm saying? Nurture you. Almost like a mother. You feel me?
Now, I absolutely do not have a problem with women being gay and dating each other, but I hate when women are mimicking men like this. She's talking just like a man and like a bandit, like Red Pill. Women are not here to nurture you like a mother, to push you, to guide you, and to make you do shit. You need to be self-motivated enough to do that on your own. This is what men are out here wanting women to do for them.
And one thing for sure, God don't play about good women. See, most good women is protected by the Most High. So when you try to fuck over a good woman, you get nothing good out of that, bro. And a good woman, she might take your ass back, but after a while, when you really lose her, you're gonna feel it, bro. Because it's so hard to come by a good woman. That's why I'm telling people.
And this is some more BS that men say all the time. It's so hard to find a good woman when they have fucked over like 3 or 4 good women that they can look back and say were actually good women and did nothing wrong to them. They just messed it up. It's not hard to find a good woman because most women are out here trying to be in a relationship, trying to do what's right, trying to take care of men when they shouldn't be doing that, trying to have a family. Like, that's most women. It's hard to find a good man. So stop lying.
Got a good one. Hold on to her, bro. There ain't too many out here. There's a lot of little girls out here, but ain't no good women out here.
Hurt people hurt people. Here's the deal. Hurt people choose to hurt people. Hurt people choose to let their unhealed wounds bleed all over everyone else. Hurt people choose whether or not they're going to work on their own healing so that they don't end up taking that out on people that never did anything wrong to them. These are choices that hurt people made. And there are some people that have gone through hell and back and they honestly have a reason to feel shut down. But you can be shut down, you can be avoidant, you can be anxious. It doesn't matter what you are. That doesn't mean that you have to take it out and cause harm on other people.
I see women online and in my real life getting hurt on a daily basis globally. Millions and millions on top of millions of women who are hurt. But I don't see millions and millions of women running around hurting men like men are hurting women. Like physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, just all kind of ways. So I think we should start saying hurt men hurt people. Hurt women actually go to therapy and try to grow and try to go to school and do better and try to like get away from men so they won't be hurt again because they're scared of them now. And I'm not saying it's not any women that don't hurt like their kids or other people because they've been hurt. I'm not saying that. But overall, I don't see hurt women running around just hurting everybody around them. I don't think these men are hurt. I think they just honestly are demons, if you ask me. Like demonic, if you ask me.
People are hurting on the inside. I get that. But they are still actively making choices with what they choose to do with that pain. You've been hurt before in your past. That is why you're so empathetic. You chose to take that pain and turn it into healing. So why are you making the excuse for them that it is okay that they are causing this harm just because they've been hurt? We can understand someone without excusing them.
I saw this post that said most women don't want to win the argument. They want to know that you actually understand why they are hurting. And I think that's where most of us get it fucked up, when we're fighting our partner, not fighting the problem.
The problem with this is most women want to be benevolent and play the whole it goes both ways thing. But a lot of the time, it only takes one person to destroy the relationship, and your spouse or your boyfriend can actually be the problem. Two things can be true. He could be the problem also.
When the minute that we get into conversations, defense walls goes up.
From what I'm seeing, observing, and hearing, this is what men do. Their defenses go up and they start pointing the finger and deflecting and saying, what about you? And then they will say women do that same thing also. Anything that they do overall, I'm noticing that they're deflecting and they're saying women do this too. It goes both ways. And I'm not seeing it going both ways. A lot of the time I'm seeing women take responsibility for things
that they aren't even doing. I'm seeing women taking responsibility for things that they are actively trying to fix and communicate in these relationships. And they just feel like they need to take some of the blame, even if they don't feel like they're the blame. Women are trying to take some of the blame and put it on themselves too, so he won't feel attacked. And I don't do that. Like, if I'm right, I know I'm right. If you're wrong, I know you're wrong. And I'm not going to take the blame for something that I know you are causing to hurt me and our relationship or our family.
Deflecting, that's when we start pointing, what about you? And it's like, holy shit, I just wanted to express how I feel. It's not for you to feel like it's an attack. And of course, obviously, delivery matters. But
another thing that I've noticed is that your delivery doesn't matter. You could say it nicely, calmly. You could be cussing. They're not going to receive it because men don't want to hear the truth from women. Men don't want to be corrected and told what they're doing wrong to hurt people because they don't care. They want to be able to do what they want to do because they're selfish and they don't want any pushback for it. That's why they're out here trying to give women or girls who are barely 18, 19, 20 that don't know anything because they don't want any pushback from you. So anything you say outside of you're right and just I should shut up, they're going to push back on it.
We want to know that you actually hear us, see us, feel us. You know, the reason why we're coming to you to vent, to open, is so we can fix the problem, because clearly I want to be with you. I see a future with you, but it's a two-way street. If I'm coming to you and you're getting defensive, if I'm coming to you and not creating a safe space, then what are we doing?
It's a two-way street, but if you're not going in the direction that they want you to go in, they're not going to participate in the ride. It's either their way or no way. And women don't realize this, and women are just driving themselves insane until they realize after like 20 or 30 years, he's not going to change. But it doesn't have to take 20 or 30 years if you just listen to the women who are speaking about the same things that you're complaining about and stop trying to speak to men about it. Because I guarantee you 9 out of 10 women who's been in relationships with men or marriages, they can relate to this. And they will tell you, most of them will tell you he's not going to change. He never changed. I had to leave.
We're literally just creating the problem and continue to add rather than actually listening, receiving.
Might make somebody mad because people don't like to hear the truth, but I'm going to say it anyway. The person who did you wrong had a choice, and they chose to fuck you over.
Damn.
They didn't think about you in this situation because they didn't want to. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a mistake. It was intentional.
Well,
they may not have wanted to intentionally hurt you, but they intentionally did what the fuck they wanted to do
they
to
knew
make
it was
them
gonna
happy.
hurt.
Which means you should do what? Do what the fuck you gotta do to make you happy.
No.
Despite how they feel.
You keep trying to understand somebody who does not give a fuck about you. You see, it'll be a little bit different if you was trying to understand a motherfucker who truly had your best intent or some good ass energy for you. This motherfucker is doing nothing but draining your life. This motherfucker's intent with you ain't the motherfucking best. This motherfucker sitting here manipulating you, gaslighting you, hitting at your fucking self-esteem for a reason. Why are you trying to understand a motherfucker like that? You can't understand no type of shit like that. Unless you're a narcissist, unless you've dealt with that amount of narcissistic abuse to an extreme level to where you can see that shit and call a fucking red bygone a red bygone, you're not gonna do that. Chances are you're just gonna sit there and get manipulated by this nigga. I'm gonna be like very honest with you. When somebody actually gives a fuck about you, they kind of make it easy for y'all to like make amends and like for you to understand this motherfucker, because they actually want you to understand them, because by you understanding them, that helps them feel loved, that helps them feel secure, that helps them be the person that they need to be in their own life and their own energy so they can show up in your motherfucking life. And this person doesn't give a fuck about you because the fact that they have you sitting in that much confusion and lacking clarity, they want you sitting in that limbo period. I wouldn't be surprised if this nigga tried running back to you, trying to get back at you once you started moving on and all this other type of shit. He doesn't actually give a fuck about you. It's crazy enough, a lot of these dudes, they just want the access. They just want to be able to hit you up and you answer. It's some cold shit, but it's some real shit at the same time. And that's why I had the link in my fucking bio, man. Go check that shit out.
Before I forget, a man does not feel your pain. My daddy said, a man do not sympathize with you when he break your heart and you crying.
No matter how much he like, oh, I hurt her. He does not feel that shit. My daddy said the only thing men understand is if you give them a taste of their own medicine. So he told me, so you go home late at night. This is when I was dating. You go back late at night. You have a guy call your phone and then see if he likes it. And then they'll adjust their behavior if they like you and want to keep you around. But all that crying, breaking shit, calling his mama, knowing his mama, getting into it with his sisters, he don't care about that. He's still gonna cheat. So my advice is, go Jada Pinkett.
How much damage does betrayal really do to a woman? Psychology shows that when a woman is betrayed by her partner, the impact on her body and mind can be as devastating as surviving a brutal war. In that moment, her heart rate spikes, breathing becomes erratic, emotions spiral out of control, her entire system collapses. 5 core physiological and emotional functions go haywire. She starts overthinking, becomes anxious, slips into depression, loses sleep, and may even lose weight rapidly. Her face turns pale, her body weak, and she feels completely hollowed out. Even if she grits her teeth and survives the darkest hours, even if she seems calmer and says she's accepted it, that's just surface. Beneath it, things are getting worse. When pushed to the edge of a breakdown, the human body releases a chemical, chlorogenic titanium particles, designed to numb pain. It's like an emotional anesthetic. But this protective shield also shuts her down from the world. She enters a kind of psychological hibernation. No focus, blank stares, mood swings, random sadness. She pulls back from everything, curls up in darkness, wanting nothing more than to forget the pain. She didn't survive this because she's strong. She survived because her system crashed so hard, it had no other choice. Real breakdown doesn't look like screaming or crying. It's going completely quiet. Only those who've been through it will understand what it means to be in so much pain that you stop feeling altogether.
Red flag I didn't notice in my relationship that I hope you notice in yours. If he doesn't react when you cry.
So that's more than just a red flag, that's psychological abuse. So I was tagged in this because I go on and on about lack of empathy in narcissistic abusers, or just abusers. Man, it's been a while since I pulled out the psychological abuse wheel. So Dr. Claire Murphy describes this as emotional unkindness, and I call it emotional cruelty. It's the 6th part of her wheel that goes through different types of psychological abuse. I have another video about this on my page. In fact, I started speaking about covert abuse and psychological abuse by going through Dr. Claire Murphy's psychological abuse wheel. Now, the psychological abuse wheel is meant to go in conjunction with a regular power and control wheel that speaks about and highlights more covert forms of abuse. And I mentioned before how we need to stop looking at just red flags of like, how do they act when they're with waitstaff, etc. Because I say they're evolving. They're smarter and they're going to put on their best behavior for a pretty long time. So what I do instead is educate about what is abuse. Even when we just see it as, oh, this might be a red flag. This is actually abuse. So what's emotional unkindness? Emotional unkindness entails doing something unkind and the absence of or failure to do something kind. And what this creator is actually describing is shows no empathy. So Dr. Claire Murphy describes this through a story, but basically he had no empathy for my feelings. It didn't matter at all. So he would just, stare at her while she cried. He didn't care. He had no empathy for her. Some people in her comments, in this poster's comments, mentioned that their abuser or this person would fall asleep next to them peacefully as they cried. Some might say this is a manipulation tactic. That's gaslighting. No, that's not just Aquarius men. Like, there's so many people that are like, oh, all men are like this. Let's not normalize that, because what happens is we normalize abuse. This is abuse. We're not normalizing abuse. It's not just all men. This is a pattern that abusive men show, because to be an abusive man, you have to have empathy deficits. To be an abuser, gender aside, you have to have empathy deficits. So what this shows is this person is emotionally cruel and unsafe. And I'm not going to diagnose anybody because I can't, but if you go to every single self-aware narcissist page, they all describe how they have a similar reaction to their partner's crying. So what you might be dealing with is a highly narcissistic person. And it's all on a spectrum, right? So you don't need to have a diagnosis. But what you're seeing is a person that does not care about your emotional safety at the very least. If I could go back to that video and share this with every single person in the comments that are normalizing this, I would. Because this is more than a red flag. and it's indicative of someone that could be increasingly abusive in the future. It's also something that I experienced with my own abuser.
A broken man will punish you for loving him when he feel unworthy of your love. So stop trying to prove yourself to a man who's still fighting his demons, because you really can't love a man out his wounds if he refuses to admit that he have them in the first place.
When you cry in front of him, when you ask for help, when you express your pain, do you know what he's really thinking deep down inside? She's inconveniencing me. Not she's hurting, not she needs me, not how can I help, but she's interrupting my day, she's interrupting my plans, she's interrupting my peace. Your pain isn't a pain for him. It's an inconvenience. It's a frustration. And when you don't stop, when your emotions become too loud, he's going to rage out. Because your emotions trigger his guilt that he's not showing up. And guilt is something that he doesn't want to deal with. It reveals this shame. So as he's going to lash out, he's going to blame you. He's going to make you feel like you're the problem, and the cycle continues over and over and over again. Are you stuck in that cycle?
You heard that? Most men end up needing the woman that they hurt. Did you hear that? Let me say that again. Most men end up needing the woman that they hurt. Because they knew your worth. They knew who you was. They seen who you was before they even got into the relationship with you. They seen who you was, and they was trying to dim your light, baby. They was trying to dim your light, and they seen, oh, I can't dim it. I can't dim that light. That one I can't dim. I try to bring the light down just a little bit, and it got brighter on me. It got brighter on me because that one I can't dim. And it's just certain females you can't do that to. And it's always the ones that's always good to you, doing for you, being there for you. Y'all always throw us under the bus. Always do us wrong. And then y'all be needing us at the end. Boo-hoo.
What hurt her is she accepted you for who you were, which included lowering her standards, tolerating more than she should have, and standing by you even at the expense of her happiness. Because what became important to her was finding a way to make you guys work, as she tried to convince herself and everyone else that you were worth it, only for you to prove her wrong and everyone else right.
Do you really need the person who hurt you to tell you, I hurt you, and I'm sorry, and I feel awful that I did it? It's beautiful to get it, but do you need it? Do you not know how painful the pain was when you experienced it? Do you need them to tell you how painful it was and give you permission to feel it? You don't need it. You want it. The one who broke you cannot heal you. You have to heal you. You can't expect the person who broke you into pieces to bring those pieces and say, I'm going to put you back together. You can't do that. You can, but why would you choose to do that? Someone who has the power to destroy you and uses that power, why would you trust them with rebuilding you?
Men who abuse women, physically, emotionally, or mentally, are usually some of the nicest, friendliest men that you will ever meet. They don't look like abusers. They're the ones who will smile at your mum, shake hands with your dad, laugh with your friends, and play the role of the perfect boyfriend, because that's how manipulation works. You see, the devil doesn't always show up in a red cape and horns. Sometimes he comes disguised as everything that you ever wished for. And that's why so many women blame themselves when a man finally reveals who he truly is. But no one ever warned you that the men capable of doing the most damage are usually the ones who know exactly how to hide it.
Hey ladies, if you enjoyed what you heard today, please subscribe. You can also like and leave a comment to help us reach more people. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the comment section.